Awesome. So I didn't hit record right. So I'm Laura. I'm going to bounce it over to Kristi. She killed it at month end. Kristi, just give us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with It Works, what's your rank, a little bit of your story.
Hello. Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm Kristi Schlegel, and this is actually my third time in. And this time I've been in for right at a year, actually, under Steph. And then the first few times, just I really wasn't ready. It just wasn't my time. And I said that if I ever joined again, that I would join under Steph. And not only that, I did just a lot of praying during the time that I was in last time, and just really just asking God, like, where is my purpose? Because I just, I didn't feel it yet. And every time I would get on social media, it was like there was a post, and I'm like, okay, God, I get it. Like, let me stop wasting time and get in. So anyways, I live in Mississippi. I am a single mom of 2 teenagers that get on my nerves quite a bit. And because of this business, I've been able to retire from working 2 full-time jobs, working over 60 hours a week, missing out. Like, all of my kids, the whole time they were growing up, I missed out on everything because I was always trying to put food on the table and keep a roof over our heads. Whenever I came back in this time under Steph, this time last year, we were being evicted because I just could not pay $650 anymore. And I was having to go around and ask 3 churches to pay my light bill. And that is embarrassing. And not only that is, I just was like, you know what, working 2 jobs, I'm still struggling. And, I didn't want my kids to continue going that way because, like, my son was going to start driving, and it just wasn't fair to them. It was not fair to them that I wasn't trying to find a solution to the problem. And so I jumped back in, and I was just ignorance on fire. I told Steph, I'm like, look, I've been in before. I kind of know what's going on. Not that I was, trained right before, but you tell me what to do, and I'm doing it. Like, I'm ready. I want to go. I want to go as fast as I can, and I want to bring as many people along with me as I can. And it wasn't, I guess, just a few months. I don't even think it was 3 months. I went Diamond. I took my boyfriend's account to Diamond, and just been, ever since I went, took both of us to Diamond, I've just been really focused on helping my team.
Yeah, that's so true. She has been. She is definitely like team first. She always wants somebody promoting. Love that about her. So you're also very consistent. Like, I know you had we talked a little bit before this yesterday, how in August you were just kind of let things go, and September you changed your whole mindset. Just kind of explain that a little bit, and what was that light switch moment?
Yeah. So in August, August was, well, really the end of summer going in, into September. I was just really in just a rut. I was tired of people just joining and quitting. I was tired of me wanting it more for them, and them not wanting it for themselves. And it really got to me. And, I just had to have a wake up call, really, that I have to stop letting what other people, like, I can't make anybody do their work. I can't make anybody want this, even though I want it for every single person that even exists in this world. Right. And so I kept, cause my checks were going down too. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not going to get another job. Like, no, ma'am, what are you doing? And I told Steph that. I was like, my checks are going down. Like, I'm sick of having my pity party. I was like, get ready, because I'm back. I'm going. And then when I heard about the 4-in-1, that really changed everything for me. And I've been talking to a lot of existing distributors, and they're saying the same thing. It just really, when we seen how simple it was, I think, like, I know in my eyes, I was like, wow, like, it doesn't get more simpler than that. And bringing people in, letting them know 4-in-1. I mean, every time I talk to somebody, they're like, I can do that. And I'm like, you can do that just on your page alone. But just imagine what you can do if you just throw all the task in with it. And it just, like I said, my checks were going down, and I just had to realize that all these people quitting has to stop affecting me and what I'm actually here to do. And because there is still people that do want this. And I just went back to the basics, and I just told myself, just like Steph had told me, she said, keep being consistent. The ones that want it will follow. And I was like, okay, you can do this. And every day, even on the days I didn't feel like it, Because let me tell you, it's something to get yourself out of a rut. Like it takes a lot. And so it was just one day at a time. I would get up and I would really focus on self development first. And every single day, even the last day of last month, I text Steph and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but I'm doing my 3, 4, and 1, and it's happening today. And I already had 2 cycles. Well, yeah, I already had 2 cycles almost done. I needed 1 customer for my second 4 and 1. And I said, no, I'm getting the 3rd one in too, because I don't want to have to start over next month. I want to work on my boyfriend's account next month because we need this like at least twice or not more, you know? And so that's really what helped me is just, you know, that I can't let other people, what they're doing affect me, because it was affecting me really bad. Because when you keep going and you feel like you're going alone, like somebody that wants to help everyone, it really mentally messes with you. But I had to just let go and let God too, you know, and I'm just excited for this new 4 and 1. And I crushed it the last day of the month. And I told myself too, like, you have to make a decision. And that's what I decided. And I told Steph that morning, I said, I don't know how I'm going to get the rest of these customers, but I'm going to do it. And all of those customers got pick 3, except for 2 got pick 2. And then 1 lady did end up just getting 1 bottle of gummies because she's like, that's really all I can afford. And I didn't give them the option of just buying 1 thing either.
Awesome. So before we get to your like month end killer game, let's just talk about what you do every day, your 6 list. I just posted it in the chat so everybody can see it. But is this something you do every day? Is this like a non-negotiable for you? Do you do it once? Do you do it twice? Just explain it a little bit.
Okay. So the beginning of September, like I said, when I started, you know, when I decided again that I was going to stop, you know, letting all the things that I couldn't control, stop, you know, allowing that to happen. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to continuously pray for the people that want to come in. I'm going to pray that God specifically puts people here that want to be here and that, you know, need it and want to work for it and go with me. And so I made up this 6 list of like the things that are like non-negotiable. And I said, every single day, I'm going to go back to doing them like I did when I went diamond. Is I didn't go to bed without these tasks being done. Like my kids will even tell you, if I stay up, I'll stay up till 1 o'clock if I don't have this done. And if you don't think people won't order at 3 a.m., there's still people awake and they will. And so that's just what I do. I make sure I made a boards that I have, like I post breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I kind of have it, you know, planned out like this for, you know, me and my team. And that's helped out a lot. The first few days I set an alarm in my phone to like, so that I wouldn't forget, because we're all busy. I'm like super busy. And so, you know, I make sure I do that before I go to bed is whenever I send out my host to post messages. That way, when I wake up, I have all the yeses in my, you know, in my messages so that I can send them out. But yeah, I don't go to bed without getting this stuff done, because you have to show up to go up. And that, like, I know that sounds like so cliche, but it's the truth. The work is not going to get done by itself.
That's so true. And what I love is it's so simple. Your 6 list, it's not anything overwhelming. It's only 5 host posts. I know so many people focus on 10 a day, but what I love about yours is it's just so simple and it's so broad. It goes through self-development. It goes through interaction. It goes through posting, everything. So not only are you're growing your network at the same time while you're getting your host posts and everything else up, which I absolutely love. So let's talk month end now. Your power push to complete that 4 and 1. What did it? Was it host a post? Were you messaging? Were you going live? TikTok? What were you doing?
So I was doing host to post. So going into September with this 4 and 1, like I said, I wanted to complete my 4 and 1 at least 3 times. That way this month I could work with my distributors and then work on it on my boyfriend's account as well. And I usually do 10 a day, but I just felt overwhelmed at the time with it, getting back in the groove of it, because like I said, last month I was like horrible at being consistent and doing it. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to just do 5. We're going to do 5 a day. And then, you know, if we can do it twice a day, you know, we will. And so I just worked on 5 a day, because I feel like 5 is not overwhelming. 5 is not a big number. Like we can do 5 just by messaging 30 people in like not even 10 minutes. And so, so I would do 5 a day. And so I was messaging for host to post. Now I'll do a giveaway post like once a week, but I really have like, even though I interact, it seems like I have the same people comment. And I do message them some, especially if their host post did really well for me before. I'll say, hey girl, do you want another entry into the giveaway? And I just give them a different one. But that's what it was though. It was host to post. I didn't do any TikToks or reels actually until starting this month. I was like, okay, now I got to get consistent with them again. But it's just messaging people, just asking, hey, can I ask you a quick question? And I always put before it, like, I know you're going to drop the scripts below, but I always say, hey, happy Friday. Good morning. Hope your day is going good. Can I ask you a quick question? And they always say yes. And now I have like maybe 2 people a week say no, thank you. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Have a good day. And I just take them off my friends list.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If they're not going to post for me, they don't need to be on my friends list. So when you were pushing hard at month end, about how many messages did you send out asking for host to post?
So I did 100 in that morning. I did 100 because I wanted to try to knock it out early, so that way I could focus on other things. But I did 100 that morning and I got up 5 immediately. Got up 5. And what I did was I did 5 giveaway posts that morning. And so then, and they just blew up because everybody's seen the whole grandma name thing. So those are the ones that I did. But every time I have somebody post for me, I switch up the wording. Every single time I have somebody post, I switch it up in some kind of way. And sometimes I have them do a bright background. Sometimes I don't. It just really depends, honestly. So then at lunchtime, I was like, okay, I'm going to send out another. At lunchtime, I only did like 40 messages though. And believe it or not, I got like 8 up. And so those people I had to product post because that's what I was working on because I had already signed several distributors through the month. So I was just working on, getting in the LCs. So then I did that. Well, then when I went back that afternoon to check the giveaway post, one of them had 265 comments and the lady didn't have that many friends, y'all. She had like, I think 500 and something friends. I was really surprised when I went back and checked it. So I started adding those people, but not too fast because I didn't want to get blocked. And then when they accepted, I immediately sent them a message. Hey girl, thanks for commenting on the cash giveaway post that, Janice put up. All you have to do is I'm going to send you a post really quick and just throw it on your page. And everybody was like, yes, yes, yes. But I want to say this too, is I decided that day and Steph will text you. I said, I am signing these customers today, one way or another. We're going to start with HAPS, but if I have to go live on all of my platforms, I will. Like, we're going to get it done today. And I think that, you have to really decide that because if you go into, and I've done this before, if you go into, oh, I'm going to sign these. And then as soon as you start, you're like, oh, I'm not going to get them. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I'm trying. Like, it's just not going to happen. If you go into it like that, that's what you're going to get. And I've been there before.
That is so true. Sometimes it's just that mindset of like, I'm going to do this. And yeah, I mean, this doesn't mean you have to send 100 messages every day by any means, but if you're really wanting to push, like it can be done. I want to switch gears really quick over to distributors. I know you said you had signed a few throughout the month, and you got those through host to post as well, and you were getting them on the phone. So maybe talk about that a little bit.
So Ashley Pfluger, everybody remembers her being on a couple of Zooms. And, she is like one of my biggest inspirations. I talk to her like all the time. And when she, I just listen to what the leaders say, honestly. So when she was like, sometimes you have to pivot. And she was like, I know it like scares us to death to get people on the phone. And I was like, like what? She's talking to people on the phone? Like, no way. And then, just that night, I just kept praying about it. And I was like, Lord, I'm freaking out, but I want to do this. And I said, I just know that it's going to be a transformation, because when you get somebody on the phone, it's just, you have that instant connection. They can tell if you're a good person or not. They can tell, like, every person that I talked to, they were like, wow, I can hear the passion in your voice. And, some of those people I have followed up with, through host to post, through voice messages. And it wasn't like that, but getting them on the phone and letting them, first of all, because when I first get them on the phone, I'm like, okay, hey, I'm Kristi. I've been in, this long and I was like, but first, before we go any further, tell me some about you. Are you married? Do you have kids? Make that conversation about them first. And then, because it makes them feel good, because I know if I get on the phone with somebody and it's just, they're all just, yabbering, you're just kind of like, okay, this is awkward. And so immediately when you make it about them, and then I asked them, I said, do you work now? Can you give this at least 1 to 2 hours a day? And what are you wanting from this? Are you wanting to eventually quit your job? Are you just wanting $200? Are you just, and just instantly, I mean, whenever I brought up the price, they were like, yep, let's do it right now. Like, let's go. No questions asked, because I had already related to them, connected to them. And I told them briefly what it's done for me. And they were like, I trust you. Like, let's go. And they're killing it. A couple of them hadn't even been in a week, y'all. And I got them just started on Host to Post, and they're already completing their 4-in-1.
It's so true. And I know it's scary, like talking to people on the phone. We're such a tech society. I totally get it. I'm the same way, but it's amazing. Like if you can just get somebody on the phone and ask them the question and get to know them, they get to know you. And that's so important. And building those relationships, those are going to be your lifelong customers, your lifelong distributors, because you're invested in them. Something you said, which I thought is amazing, and we've run into it as well, is no one's batting an eyelash at the 149. So can you just kind of explain, like, is there a way you explain it, or do you just say, hey, it's 149 to join?
So it's kind of funny, because going into the month, I text Steph and I was like, what? The kits went up? Like, who's going to do this? Like, I kind of panicked, for a minute. And then I was like, no, like this business has changed our lives, like if somebody's not willing to pay it, then they're just not, they don't need to be here, and so I have a script that I, got from somebody else, and it just kind of breaks it down after I tell them, like what I do, which if I'm on the phone, I just say, okay, so, when would you like to get started? And they're like, immediately. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what we have to do to get you signed up. It's $149 plus tax and shipping. And I say, but with that, you're going to get, 2 bags of coffee, the bottle of gummies, the bottle of calorie burner, and you're getting 5 3-day sample packs. And I say, you're going to immediately sell those. I'm going to show you how to make that 140 back. And then I go into telling them you're getting training, like step by step, day to day, however much you need, however long you need, and just your website, your e-suite. And then, most of them, they're like, what? All that? And I'm like, yeah. And so they don't really question it. But I also let them know, I'm going to hold your hand these first, several days, because I'm going to show you how to earn those weekly bonuses immediately as well. And that's what they're really looking at too.
I was perfect segue, because that was my next question is, what exactly are you doing to help these new distributors just hit the ground running? Like, is it just Host to Post? Are you giving them like daily tasks? What exactly?
Yeah. So I have been doing a Zoom Monday through Friday at night. Like usually it's like 8:30. We just get on and we strictly work on Host to Post when we get on, because like that's very important. And I know that that's what's going to help them enroll too and add to their network. And then like throughout the day, even though we have the boards, I say, hey, I go to their page, and if they haven't, put something up, maybe because they don't know. And even though we give them a boards, I realized this yesterday, even though we give it to them, they don't necessarily know what to do. And so I'll say, okay, here's your morning post. Then I'm like, okay, I'll voice message, because I have different chats and stuff with everybody. And I'll say, okay, girl, now I want you to post a picture of you and your sons, something to do with not. So I'm kind of just showing them how to go into it. But when I start them off, it's just posting at least 3 times a day. I give them story slides to put in their stories, and Host to Post. And then they're doing giveaway Host to Post. So that's adding to their network.
I love that, because we sometimes think like, oh, everybody knows how to do this business. I figured it out. No, that's not the case. You have to give them little daily instructions. And that's why like posts of the day and like just that 6 list, like that's the perfect thing. If you can send it to somebody new, just like piece by piece, like, hey, go follow these people. Hey, go interact. That's something they can do. And to you, that would be like, oh, they do that on Facebook anyway. No, some people don't, and they don't know any better. So we have to teach our new distributors everything we do. And that's from Host to Post all the way to interaction to adding people. So that's so, so important. Do you have anything else? I feel like we went over most of it, but did I miss anything?
No, not really. Just, just doing host to post and getting people on the phone is really changing it for me. And I had some host to post, and I'm telling you guys, 5 this month. I've only done 5 a day except for my Sabbath. And today, out of the 5, 4 of them blew up. And there was a few ladies that even were like, "Hey, can you call me on my lunch break?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So now they're even asking me. And like, don't overthink it, because I was too. And whenever you get on the phone, like, none of them asked me anything I didn't know, and none of them like it was just I mean, the conversation just goes so smooth. And after you do it once, like, I am so excited. Like, I'm finding people to try to get on the phone now, because it's like so exciting now. And I have, like, we just had a girl sign up, I don't know, 3 days ago. She's already signed a distributor through Host to Post last night. And then her distributor's already, so like, when corporate said that this 4-in-1 is going to change it for everybody, like, it seriously is. But you just have to do the task. And voice messaging, that's another thing that really helps me is, and I wasn't good at first. I've listened to some of them and they're horrible, but you just have to keep going and fail until just like they say, practice make perfect, keep doing it, because you're going to get better. But a lot of those people that I signed on the last day of the month, I was voice messaging them. And what I would do is send them my before and after pictures. I do that for every potential customer. As soon as we get the information out for whatever they commented on, like the gummies or whatever, I send them my before and afters, and then I send them someone else's that's used the gummies for like 7 or 10 days, one of those. And then I'm like, what is your goal? Because they immediately are going to trust me to lead them the way they need to go. And so I send a voice message and I'm like, okay, girl, I can definitely help you. This is what I recommend. And I'm like, that's also what I used. The 3 for $89, and then, the fat fighters as well. And so, and they all just trust you. I really couldn't believe it, because they were all like, yes, that's what I want. Yes, yes, yes. And there was one lady that did a host to post for me the last day of the month, and nobody had commented. And I went back and I was like, wow, I thought hers was going to do good. She's got 1,000 friends, Next thing you know, after I got done eating, I got back to messages, and she had sent 3 people my phone number, and it just went like a domino effect. Those 3 people called me. So I started signing them up for pick 3. And then they were like, I'm going to give my daughter your phone number. I'm going to give, and it just like, so you just have to get uncomfortable, because at first it's a little, but after you start doing it, like, it's so exciting. And just to be able to help all these people, but they trust you. So I know my team, I'm trying to teach them, like, upsell, like, tell them what they need, because they're trusting you. And I'm like, don't short yourself or them, because our products work better together and they're going to get quicker results. And so I'm trying to teach them to do it too, because they're like, well, I don't know if they'll. I'm like, no, they will. But that's really all I got, you guys. Host to post is, I mean, it's working for me. I signed several distributors last month, and telling my story, because after you get them on your page, and because they're going to go check you out. So they go to your stories and I always made sure every single day, I make sure I have something about what this has done for me and offering the business. And they're just constantly voting polls or messaging me. So just consistency really does pay off.
Yeah, polls are huge, because sometimes people might be a little bit worried to message you, and that just opens the door for you. And I love that you're upselling. That's so huge. I always, like you said, you weren't giving people an option for one product. You were giving them an option of 3, and just getting to know what they need and asking the question. I think sometimes we just so go into, oh, they want gummies, I'm just going to sell them on gummies. No, ask the question, find out what their goals are, because they may want to lose 100 pounds, and just gummies isn't going to get them there very quickly. So ask the questions. There is a couple questions in the chat, and this one I'm definitely going to ask you, because you killed it on TikTok for a while. So yes, she does use TikTok. I'm going to have her talk about it really quick I don't remember how many customers you signed up the 1 month from TikTok, but it was huge.
Yes, 12 distributors and 80 customers. off just TikTok a couple of months ago. That's when I took my boyfriend's account to Diamond just that month. Like I hadn't even signed him up, not even 2 months, and took him. And it was just, it's consistent. Like if you guys go and check my TikTok out, like it's kind of embarrassing because I'm so bad at that. My kids make fun of me, but I'm like, hey, they're working. Like it's working. So that's what matters. Like you don't, and I also like that because it shows people you don't have to be perfect. You know, when I had these couple of girls join me this month, they were like, I love how you don't try to like put all this stuff on yours and try to like, and I'm like, nope, I just throw up some words and just, go with it. And so I haven't been using TikTok consistently until this month. I did get back into it just because Facebook's always been my jam, and I just do so well over there with haps and stuff that I haven't had to. But I have a new thing I made out today, and I printed my friends list off too, because that's definitely helped me this week. And so I am getting back in the groove of doing haps. I don't know if anybody was on the call last night with Jackie Deering and some others, but she said that 60 days ago she decided to do 5 a day, and like a couple of them would be business related and a couple not. And within those 60 days, y'all, she has like triple, quadrupled her followings and stuff. So I just go look at theirs and see what they're doing, and I just reenact it my own way.
I love that. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And that's all that matters. And don't worry about if you're going to look a fool or not, because who cares?
You'll just with me.
Yeah. You're just having fun. That's all that matters. Like,
yeah.
And one other question is do you have any sort of like tips or any special tricks you use if somebody's like ghosted you? They left you on red.
As far as like haps or following up?
Yeah, follow up mostly.
Okay, so what I usually do, like, because I did have several people that were supposed to join they were supposed to sign up the last day of the month, and they were like, yep, I'll do it after work, and then there's like gone. I'm like, well, okay, well, so I honestly, y'all, I follow up with people until they either block me or they join. And so what I would do though, so it's not like, too like annoying, I would give them their time. I always ask them though, like, okay, well, when is a good time for you? Okay, when do you want to sign up? I try to ask them that way, because they give me dates, and my calendar, my book right here is just full of people's dates, especially for this month, because if you ask them, then you'll know. So then you don't have to keep going back if you know they don't get paid till the 20th, And so, and I do have several people that do, or like haps, if they say they're going to put it up, and then I'm like, okay, 6 hours later, it's not up. I'll send them a voice message. I'm like, hey girl, I haven't seen that post yet. Did you happen to get it up? Because I don't want you to miss out on a chance to win this money. Or I'll even say, sometimes I'll do coffee samples. So I'm like, hey, I don't want you to miss out. I know you wanted to try this coffee. And I have a girl, one of my new girls that's just completing her 4-in-1. She wanted to get her last 2 customers in, and all she did was she put a post on Facebook and just said, hey, my next 2 customers are getting a free 3-day sample pack. And people just started messaging her over the sample pack. So it doesn't have to be anything like drastically huge, but I'll send a voice message so that I know that they have to, listen to it. And then if they still ignore me, because I'm like urgency, if they still ignore me, I'll message them and I'll say, is there something that I said that offended you? And immediately they'll be like, oh no, girl, I'm just busy with work, or they'll say they're broke.
Perfect.
And
love it.
Everyone.
Yeah. And ask for a date. I'm the same way. If they're like, oh, I can't right now, whatever, I'm like, cool, what day works best? And they may just say like next month. I'll just pick a day for them, and I'm going to follow up with them next month. Something I wanted to add really quick is if you haven't, print out your 4-in-1 worksheets. These are the only way I'm keeping myself sane.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to complete multiples, which I know a lot of people are. This is a great way to do it. You can literally write people's names, their BV, so you're making sure you're getting that 180. That's just kind of my tip to add into it. I think we covered it all. What do you think?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on and joining us. I appreciate you sharing everything. She's always an open book, guys. Love Kristi to death. So just thank you so much for pouring into all of us. And
yes, for having me.
I know you're totally going to knock out your boyfriend's Christmas cash this month. No problem.
Oh, yes.
Well, have a great night, everybody. We will see you next week.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.